If you have a listing right now, Dan, if you're an agent and you have a listing, congratulations, you got the listing already. In theory, you don't need to do Matterport. The seller already was impressed enough with you, right? But now it's 3 months later and listings expire, contracts expire. Dan, you may have only listed with me until the end of August. Now, today's date is August 10th, and I'm starting to get itchy because I want to get that extension. Sellers like, we're going to interview other agents because they're getting postcards from agents or they're getting calls from agents saying, I was looking online, I didn't see your Matterport virtual tour. It's a no-brainer. Do the Matterport to make your seller happy. But the further one is when you have an open house, you have a listing. And as the listing agent, I'm going to get all the buyer leads that come in from my site, my open house signs, my for sale sign, my Facebook page. Beautiful picture of the front of the house, right? Looks great. Or a Matterport tour. Now, the people that are looking at the house, let's say 10 people saw that ad. 3 of them may have to sell their house before they buy their next house. 2 of those people may have a family member about to list a house. 1 of them may be an estate attorney who has a client who has to sell a house. There's 1,000 scenarios where the listing, the Matterport tour on the listing, someone's going, whoa, my God, look at this. I never saw this before. Now remember, 5 years later, 6 years later, more people saw Matterport.
Yes. Now
when this first came out, boom, people's head exploded.
So Howard, you have an advantage of being not only a Compass real estate associate broker, but the owner and chief photographer of 3D Views. So when you do a Matterport for your listing, can you speak firsthand that you actually get warm inbound leads that lead to
100%? Because Dan, again, it's gonna be like a real estate training class for 10 seconds. Okay, you're an agent, you're at an open house, you're a brand new agent, the ink on your license is not even dry yet. I'm an experienced agent in the office. I bring you in because I want to have somebody there to help me at my open house. I'll share it with you, right? So now you're in the house, you're a brand new agent. Mr. and Mrs. Smith walk in and you're like, hi, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, how are you? My name is Dan Smigrod. Please sign in, blah, 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 sign in my little book. And I want you to give me your email address and, so I can stay in touch with you. But it's also, I'm going to send you a link to a Matterport virtual tour. And what this is, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, because I'm sure you're going to look at other houses today. When you get home, you're going to click this link and you're going to remember this house. And if you weren't sure, was the bedroom blue or red, they can go back and look at it. They just walked into the open house and they're already being introduced to Matterport. QR code, scan here, blah, blah, blah.
That conversion.
Right. But the point is, if I looked at a batting average, if I got 1,000 buyers over a 2-year period at open houses, I got about 20 listings from those buyers. As an agent, I'm going to say this to any real estate agent who's listening today, you get more listing leads at an open house than anywhere else. Remember, years ago we would cold call. Hi, Mr. Smith. This is Howard Witz, Compass Real Estate. I'm wondering if you're thinking of selling your home now or in the near future. Click. A lot of hangups. A lot of people don't like to get cold calls. If I send postcards out, I can send you a postcard and says, hey, we sold all these houses. If you're interested in selling a house, people get postcards by the dozens. They tear them up. When they walk into my open house, they are my visitor. That is a captive audience for the next couple of minutes. I don't want to dive on them and tackle them and hold them down and force feed a tour in their mouth. But sometime, and again, I'm joking around here now a little bit, but during the open house, in the first minute or two, I, as an agent, separate my buyers into the ones that own houses and the ones that never bought a house before. I am a listing agent. Every real estate agent in America and worldwide wants to get listings. I have the listing, 30 brokers want to sell it, it's my listing. I'm automatically getting at least half. So now I'm already getting paid. So now an open house visitor comes in that owns a house. I want to give them a little extra attention. Can I get you guys a cup of coffee? We have bottles of water. You know, I'm going to literally make them comfortable with me. I'm going to find out, do you need to sell that house before you buy your next house? Because if so, you're not buying this one. I understand that, but I'd like to apply for that job and tell you a little bit about, I'm in the guy's living room. They're not buying. My experience says they can't buy. The guy literally just said, I can't buy a house until I sell this one.